Google submitted and took it down. And now we're treated fairly, Muslims. Now Muslims are treated fairly. Why? Because they're treated better than everyone else. Equal treatment is never enough. As long as Islam and anything else is treated equally, they're still going to complain. No matter how many rights, how many privileges they have, they're still going to complain. Until when? Until Islam dominates the entire world.
Yeah, excellent, excellent, excellent. I don't know. They've been dimmified. I wonder if they're getting money by Muslims, or if Muslims are involved in that, or if they're just afraid. They're so ridiculously afraid of political correctness, incorrectness, that they simply submitted, as did the United States military, to the likes of Nidal Maliki al-Hassan and their own views. So let's take a break. We'll be right back. We'll begin to take your calls, and we need to do a little bit more commentary briefly on this subject. Not in the name of Islam. I want to make an observation about the two clips that you showed when we come back. And we'll take your calls about Islam, violence, killing, murder. And after all, that's what Islam's all about, isn't it? You tell us. Give us a call after the break. Welcome back to Jesus or Muhammad, our subject, not in the name of Islam. We keep hearing this trite little cliche, and it seems to us to be meaningless and empty-headed. And we want to see if there's any rationale behind it whatsoever. As Brother David has pointed out, not only from the Quran, but from actual practice, time and time again. When Muslims have the opportunity to get involved in a rally that talks about condemning Israel, or somehow or another Zionist things taking place, or it seems that Muslims have been wronged, they get so excited and so dramatic and animated. And as a matter of fact, in that rally in Dearborn, if you noticed, there was a very strong religious element. They're protesting Israel, but there's a very strong religious element. They're reciting the Shahada, I think it was, of the Shia. I didn't catch all of it, but the beginning, La ilaha illallah, and then they have their response. And this is over and over and over and over, working themselves up into an Islamic frenzy. But then you go, and so what that would make you have a connection. These people who hate Israel, these people who are condemning Israel and their acts, are doing it based on the religion of Islam. Now, when you go to downtown Detroit, and they're supposed to be condemning acts of terrorism, Do you hear them reciting the Shahada? Do you hear them giving any Islamic verses? As a matter of fact, there was not one sign, I don't think, that had Quranic scripture on it to condemn it. If there was, it's probably Surah 532, which is ridiculous. And anyways, that would give us a lot more to talk about. And so what my point is simply this. You see that when any time there's hatred involved, like the cartoonists, you know, the very fact that, of course, they were upset that anyone put Muhammad in a cartoon, but then the idea that you would portray Muhammad as violent and Islam as violent. Oh my, what a horrible crime. And how do they prove that this is a horrible crime? By going out throughout the world, killing people, burning things down, blowing things up, tearing Ronald McDonald out of the street bench in Karachi and torching the McDonald's and Colonel Sanders and the Kentucky Fried Chicken, all in the name of Islam to prove that Islam is peaceful. And even this last week, a crazed Muslim terrorist Somali with an axe and a club goes to this 70-some-year-old man's house, breaking down the door, going upstairs, chasing him and his 5-year-old granddaughter, doing his best to get into a bathroom door, screaming, "Blood, revenge, blood, revenge," all to attack a man who said that Islam was not peaceful.
Yes, and he only survived because he had a panic room.
Thank God.
Because of threats on his house, they had turned a room of his house into a panic room, namely a room you could go into and it locks and no one can get in. And then the police are contacted. So that's the only reason he survived. But you know, same situation with Theo Van Gogh,
yeah,
who made a short film about Islam, and a Muslim almost sawed his head off, shot him I think 6 times, and almost sawed his head completely off. Where's the outrage? Where was the Muslim outrage? How dare you almost chop off someone's head completely for criticizing Islam? I've never seen any Muslim outrage over him being killed or almost anyone else being killed in the name of Islam. The only time Muslims seem to get worried about violence in the name of Islam is when it starts negatively impacting Muslims. Is when people start saying, hey, we're starting to get suspicious of you. And now it's, oh, we better say something, not because we really care about terrorism, but because terrorism is now having a negative impact on our lives and people are tugging on on our veils.
On our hijab. But, you know, my goodness, you know, maybe it was just a little bit out of the way and she was trying to help her, you know. I mean,
no, it was. See, I have no problem with Muslims saying, hey, she pulled on my veil. She should not do that. Absolutely correct.
Fine her $100.
Yeah, but to compare this to when Muslims get more worried about that than the terrorist attacks that take place across the Muslim world every single day. Something's wrong here, my friend. Something's wrong here, my friend.
More worried about that in context than the murder of 13 American soldiers and 1 in the womb. That was what they tried to put out there to kind of cover up Midal Malik al-Hassan, right?
Yeah, and so the attitude is, boy, yeah, we really kind of feel bad about those American soldiers who got shot.
Too bad.
Darn. Yeah, we're really distraught over that. What? A woman had her veil oh, something has to be done about this. We want worldwide action right now. We want justice. Don't you know how easy it is to catch on to this? I mean, most people don't, though.
No, I don't.
It's weird.
Well, and it's the perfect storm. Have you ever read that book? What is it, London Stan or something? Well, there's a book about, I think it's a young lady wrote it, about how London has been dimified and everything is done to cater the Muslims. And this is what's taken place in